It's time to grab your heavy artillery and command the field. Here on the Flex On Podcast, we're back with another Commander's Corner, and I'm joined by the right-hand man, the Commandalorian himself, the voice of reason, Crevonte. We're talking big things down in the nation's capital. Dan Snyder, could he be gone soon? Jack Del Rio being goofy, talking about those rookies, them OTA, and of course that new plot of land in Dumfries, Virginia, and how things could be on hold. We're also looking forward to seeing what could be done next in free agency for the Commanders, as well as what we would like to see before training camp as well. God's favorite host, the host of the Moist here, with my boy Crevonte, as I mentioned. We're going to count things down and give that Commander's Corner as only we can. Hit that thumbs up, smash that like button, hit that bell for all notifications, and of course subscribe to the Flex Zone, only place giving you your sports how you want it, when you need it. That's right, back again. No one does it better than the Flex On Podcast. As I said, grab your heavy artillery. It's time to command the field and command these airways. Back again, God's favorite host, the host of the Moist. You know the drill. Hit that like button, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you would like to talk about, Commanders fans, as we're in the Commanders Corner. And I got my brother, the right hand man, the voice of reason, captain of the goofy ship, Commander Crevonte, aka the Commandalorian. I salute you, my brother. What's up?
Man, that's it's slowly growing. But in times like these, it's not the most appealing thing to say or appealing thing to hear because the drama continues with the Washington Goofy Commanders.
Now, all intents and purposes, I gotta give you your credit, brother. I think you was a little pissed off this morning, and you said, "I gotta do a video. I gotta let some things off my chest, and then let us hear tonight."
Yep, that is why we are here. I heard some very goofy news, and I if it's not one thing, it's literally another when it comes to this team from DC. That's what I'm finna call them. This team from DC. It's always something different. But this person is a more of a new face. Let's just get into it.
Yes, I would say start low and high with the goofiness, but it's high level goofy all around. So we will start at the top with the owner, Mr. Daniel Snyder. And the question I pose is, will Daniel Snyder be removed? Crevante, let the people know what's going on with your fabulous, fearless leader, your owner, Daniel Snyder.
I mean, when you say fearless leader, I think that's the perfect definition for what he is because he is literally fearless. Like I remember it wasn't 10 years ago. It was much sooner, much more recent than that. But we all remember when he said that he would never change the name. Told everybody, screamed it to the high hills. I will never change this name. I bought it this name and it's going to remain this name. Now, obviously, some things have happened and the name has changed twice. But when fearless leader, yes, that is a great way to describe this guy. Um, so I really don't have any updates, but so basically the owners are sick and tired of Daniel Snyder and his shenanigans. From I don't know if he's like holding receipts or holding withholding his revenue for what he makes from the stadium. Not being a hospitable host when other owners come to town, making them pay for stuff. Just basically nickel and diming them. Along with all his other mishaps of sexual harassment, having um, a not so comfortable likable workspace,
Toxic.
stressing folks out, harassing folk, and just making people feel uncomfortable. And yeah, so the owners are finally sick and tired of his shenanigans, I guess, and they have been quote unquote counting the votes. But I'm not too familiar with how I guess the impeachment process works when it comes to NFL owners. We saw basically an impeachment in the NBA a few years back after those things had come out. But I've never seen it in the NFL. And now that I think about it, I don't even I don't even know how that I don't even know how that works. So I'm hoping it works its way all the way through so I can know this process. But they've been counting the votes, and it seems to be at a halt. I don't know if they're still waiting for some unresolved issues of his to, I guess, be resolved before they do it. But I don't know how long these quote unquote votes are taking. But as of now, um, we're waiting on I guess we're waiting on a court date as far as his cases are concerned. But as far as the owners, I don't know what's the hope what the holdup is. It's like I feel like everybody write yay or nay on a card and let's be on with this. Or I guess because there's billions of dollars involved, this is not that simple.
Now, I mentioned one fearless leader. We do know that the goofy Roger Goodell is the commissioner of the NFL, so I don't even think they know how the impeachment process works, Crevonte. So I guess we'll be waiting with bated breath to see what happens.
That's me, but trust me, I will not be holding my breath. That is not. I will be breathing with excitement because I feel like the NFL might get something right for once. They might.
Would you be happy if he is voted out?
Absolutely. I
Okay.
think there is a dark cloud over. I can't say over DC because we have two professional teams in DC that have won championships within the last 5 years. So I can't say it's over DC, but it's for sure over this football team. And he's been the owner since I guess like '99, and things haven't been right honestly since. And I hate to blame it all on him, but when you're the common denominator, you got to start looking at yourself. So I'm ready for a new leader. I'm ready for a new voice, or should I say, just a new checkbook? Because I'm not really trying to hear from owners. You know what I'm saying? We're not the Cowboys or anything like that. I shouldn't know. We should know owners by name. You know what I'm saying? We should not. GMs are another deal. Presidents. These are guys we should know because they're hands on with the football, making decisions. I shouldn't hear or see my owner in the draft room having the loudest voice. Write the
Agreed.
checks, man, and go away.
And fix that plumbing system in that stadium, by the way, too.
All that money. Oh, you a billionaire. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yo, I'd have asked, I would have had free tickets. I would have tried to sue. That is beyond tasteless and tacky.
Goofy, nonetheless. We will keep our eyes on the situation if anything
Absolutely.
does change, and of course we'll bring it to you. But I had to touch base and start with the head and work our way down. Let's get goofy, Cavante. Well, I guess we was already goofy, but let's stay with the goofiness. We're high level goofy here. Jack Del Rio. Jack Del Rio, your defensive coordinator, who is a hell of a defensive coordinator, by the way, before we do get into sliding him.
Sure.
He had some goofy comments. Would you like to let the people know what he said or didn't say
Um,
in a nutshell?
so he said a couple things. I saw a video of it. So I'm trying to figure out what the origin was and where this stemmed from. Apparently, he's an active person on the Good Twitter, and they were making references to the I believe to the insurrection that happened on January 6th, the dreaded day that we as people that live here in this country will never forget, because this is something that has never happened in either of our lifetimes, and probably our parents' lifetime or grandparents' lifetime. Um,
Right.
for these white Americans stormed the Capitol, and not only stormed it, but got in. It got in, and it was running amok. You know what I'm saying? Just like this was a normal thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And all in the name of democracy. I think that's what
Did
they
you
was
say
fighting for.
goofocracy? Goofocracy?
Goofocracy, yes.
Okay. All right.
Mainly after their fearless leader was not reelected president. So that obviously that's where that stemmed from. But Jack Del Rio um, called the insurrection that happened on January 6th um, a dust up. I quote end quote, a dust up. Now, for the good people, one second, for the good people that don't know what a dust up is, let me grab that for you. Okay, so a dust up by its definition is a fight or quarrel, right? A little backstory, a little history on the word dust up. Dust up was coined during the late 19th century from the idea that fighting in the streets would raise some dust, right? An earlier phrase was kicking up dust or causing uproar, right? So that's a little history on the word dust up in the sense that Jack Del Rio was using it. But ultimately, a dust up is a fight, a tussle, usually in the streets by people that disagree with one another or disagree um, they just plain disagree with what's going on, and the only way they feel as though they could be heard is by fighting or causing a ruckus or running amok, if you will. And he called it, and that's what Jack Del Rio called the insurrection. Um, I'll tell you right now, I never even heard of the word insurrection before January 6th. I'm not even going to hold you, but that is a word that we don't hear often, and usually words we don't hear often, they're pretty strong. Um, they're pretty strong in meaning and things of that nature. So Jack Del Rio really downplayed what happened on January 6th. Um, it wasn't no ordinary dust up. Dust ups happen every day, literally
Right. Right.
all over the country. Those dust ups happen every day, i.e., fights, disagreements between separate parties. At least two parties involved. Um, People have disagreements and fights all the time. Insurrections, however, do not happen often. As a matter of fact, since about um, 1812, I would say, when the last time we had foes, and by we I mean the United States of America, had foes that put hands on the White House. and any other and our buildings that we hold near and dear to our hearts. That was in the 1800s. It's 2022 for those of y'all that are under a rock. We've been going through a pandemic for the past 2 years,
Yep.
and yeah, insurrections don't happen. And that's when they burned the White House down. That was early 1800s, where security wasn't as good. Got caught off guard. You know, our president at the time had to get up out of there. It was a rough time in the 1800s. But needless to say, nothing has happened to any of our buildings since then,
Right.
especially by our own people. And you know what we call that, especially back in the days? We call that treason, Byron. That's treason.
A
You
prisonable
are
offense.
acting like those people, those white people were acting like terrorists, not tourists.
Terrorists. That's
There's
what
a
they were.
difference. Tourists are
Agree.
the people that got cameras around their necks and they're taking pictures because they're here to have a good time. Those are tourists. We see a lot of those in New York and a lot of other big cities. They're terrorists. Like kind of what happened in 2001. Yeah,
Yeah.
something they're closer to that than the people taking pictures, right?
Right.
So him downplaying it was um I'm I'm shocked but not surprised, because it was almost like where did that come from? But
Right.
I'm not surprised because he's white. So you know, I'm not surprised by what people from the Caucasus Mountains feel about these issues. We all know, but for him to say that and for him to basically be the leader of a defensive squad, mostly of black players, um, it's a little weird to say.
Right.
I'll say the locker room will be weird moving forward. So much to the point where the president of the NCAA, I'm not the NCAA, the NAACP has basically called for his job. This is a dismissal. It's a fireable offense. Um, there is enough going on with this commander's organization, goofiness all over the place, legal issues all over the place, and the a new stadium potentially in a goofy place. And here he go talking about the insurrection was a dust up. Like, why? Now all of a sudden you want to flex your American right now? Like, bro, shut up. Like, don't nobody care what you think about what happened on January 6th.
Do you
But
want
you're not
him?
going to downplay it and call it a dust up like those things happen all the time when they don't. It was highly insensitive, ignorant, and white.
So real quick, yes or no? Should he lose his job?
Yes, I think those comments is going to shake up the locker room, and it's not going to be positive. We got, like I said, we got enough things going on in this locker room. We don't have time for we don't have time for race issues along with it. Like, we already deal with those things, right? But you thinking it and you saying it in front of people is different. So I don't think it's going to be a good idea for that locker room, because see, now you're going to divide the locker room in a not so pretty way, because there's going to be some guys that say, "Hey, I would it. We said it wasn't that bad," but I think the vast majority are going to say, "Yo, you wild. I can't work for you now.
Right.
I don't have to work for you now." I'm
Right.
not going to work for you now. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we've gone too far. But I just want to go over his apology as well. Here's Jack Del Rio straight from his Twitter. Apparently, he's a tweeter.
He is a
Uh,
heavy Twitter user. Yes, I see.
yeah. So, and quote, I made comments earlier today in referencing the attack that took place on the United States Capitol on January 6th, 2021. Uh, was that referencing that the situation referencing the situation as a dust up was irresponsible and negligent, and I am sorry. I stand by my comments condemning violence in communities across the country. I say that while also expressing my support as an American citizen for peaceful protests in our country. I have fully supported all peaceful protests in America. I love, respect, and support all my fellow coaches, players, and staff that I work with and respect their views and opinions.
That sounds very unapologetic. It's like he's walking a tightrope. Not impressed.
Doesn't give much of the remorse factor, the remorse aspect. This is a saving my job apology. I don't think this came from Jack Del Rio. I think somebody in the Commanders organization said, "Hey, not now, Jack. We got bigger things. We got bigger things to deal with, and you
Yep.
not helping."
Whew. Definitely high level goofy. And as Crevonte takes a sip of that ginger ale, it's funny you mention, some things may or may not happening or losing or gaining because there was a plot of land recently purchased, not in DC, not even in Maryland, in Virginia, but not Northern Virginia, not even Richmond, which is a heavy Commanders territory, or even North Carolina, where there are a lot of Commanders fans. Shout out to all the Commanders fans in the Carolinas. Is it Dumfries, Virginia, Crevonte? Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's Dumfries, Virginia.
Okay, so Dumfries. Okay,
But no, it probably is actually pronounced Dumfries. That sounds closer to being
okay,
right. But
okay.
because I don't like it, it's going to be Dumfries.
Yes,
I'm going to call
Umberto
it
Jack Del
Dumfries,
Rio.
Virginia, because this is dumb. This is stupid, and this is dumb. Um, and I feel like this is Daniel Snyder trying to stick it to the Commanders organization or and the people that disagree with his thoughts and opinions before he gets possibly kicked out. So,
Right.
but good news. I came across the article and I'm trying to pull it up. I think I put it in our chat. Um, that is some good news in referencing the stadium that will potentially be in Virginia. It says state senator halts bid to help bring Commanders Stadium to Virginia. Amid scandals, says Virginia State Senate Majority Leader Richard L. Soswell Soswell had been trying to lure the Washington Commanders to build a new stadium in Virginia, but he is now giving up on his stadium build for the moment.
Mm,
Probably because there's a lot of goofiness going on, and then here comes Jack Del Rio not helping.
definitely.
It's probably not a good idea um, to, I guess, get in bed with somebody that's probably going to get put out of his profession pretty soon. Um, Saslaw, I think it's Saslaw. Um, Saslaw blamed the repeated controversies within the organization, most recently with defensive coordinator Jack Del Rio, referring to January 6th insurrection as a dust up. So boom, there you go. There
And
you go.
speaking of dust up, look who's in the chat. Fresh tan and all. The man himself, Drizzy Dre. What's up,
Welcome
brother?
back, brother. Welcome back.
Thank you, brothers. Well,
So
look, I'm
so Dre, it's
looking
funny
into it.
you just popped in. Um, Virginia State Senator Majority Leader, Mr. Senator Richard. has halted moving forward with the potential stadium that the Commanders are trying to place in Virginia, in Dumfries, Virginia. And
As he should.
as he should, exactly. Apparently, according to him, it's too much going on to basically deal with anything Commander related because of all of what's going on. I mean, we got the defensive coordinator being insensitive and ignorant of those events that happened um, on January 6th, and we also have an owner who has a Walgreens or a Rite Aid receipt worth of goofiness from all the way from withholding revenues that he's made to harassment, um, creating a stressful environment, and not being a hospitable host. That's just to name a few. There's so much more, and I just don't think it's a good idea to do business with somebody who doesn't really know how to run a business, I guess.
Ooh. Yikes.
Yeah, so that's where we at with it now. I guess he's probably gonna wait to see what happens with Daniel Snyder, and after that, shoot, the whole thing might fall through. Hopefully, if he's supposed to sell the team, the new owner is probably not gonna do it. But who knows?
I mean, like I said, I mean, we when we had the discussion before, the stadium, when you think about a stadium, you want it to be, close to the city. You don't want it to be so far out. I mean, you do have, some exceptions with some stadiums like, MetLife or Jerry World, where some of those aren't necessarily in the vicinity, but they're at least close enough for fans to get to. So I mean, it's a good concept, but the vision that he has, but it's just not fathomable for Washington fans. You want a place where fans can come to, that's convenient for them. I mean, already, you kind of feel like FedEx Field is already kind of a stretch for where it is. So I'm glad that this representative is saying no, not here, and hopefully, things can be figured out, especially with everything that's going on with Washington. But we've said for years that the owner has to go, and you always said it starts from the top, and then everything from there just falls. So we'll see. But your organization, I mean, if the owner can go, and it just makes me think about how much the Denver Broncos were sold for $4.6 billion. So I can already imagine what Washington can command out of that. At least to me, $5 billion, because that is an organization that definitely commands a lot of money. I mean,
commands a lot of money. You hear him? You hear him?
I mean, but I'm just saying, it's still a profitable business. It's just that the fan base, you guys just deserve better, and it's kind of crazy because this is a guy who really loves this organization, and is a legit fan and owner, but he's just making decisions that are just meddling in his own way, and it's not doing anything for the franchise going forward.
So Dre, I'm gonna ask you this question, and then Crevonte. Dre, where would you put an ideal stadium for the Commanders? Granted, whoever's the owner, Dan Snyder, the right person comes in, somebody buys it. Where would you put the stadium, or where would you like to see them move to? Because it looks like they're going to leave FedEx Field eventually.
I mean, I don't blame them for leaving FedEx Field, but honestly, to me, the ideal place is in DC. Um, you know, the Nationals are already there. You have the Wizards, who are already in DC. Granted, they're in different parts of DC, and it'll be hard to orchestrate that. but that's ideally where you want your stadium to be. You want it to, like I said, be in the backbone of the city. Um, I think if I had an ideal place, um, I know this may not be a popular decision, but RFK Field, where that was, I think that if you do some reconstruction over there and you build a really nice facility over there and try to get some really good parking for folks, I believe that would be honestly a good spot to host it for Washington fans. It's right off the highway. Um, I think that to me is a good spot where I could just think of off the top of my head in DC. I mean, Crevonte's the Washingtonian here, so he knows about the area more than I do. But I mean, that's just off the top of my head. That's just where I could think of in DC.
Crevonte, you agree with that,
Uh,
or you got any ideal place?
um, so it's funny. Dre just popped in here, and he's we almost have the same mind. We have the same mindset for this. I would love to go back to the good old days when the Redskins, well, with now the Commanders, formerly Redskins, were winning, and that was that, and that was the days. Um, hold up. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
Yes.
you.
Oh, okay. Those were the days where they were winning. That's where the good hogs were. That's where like the stadium used to rock. Like it used to like really move, and that's a really good like home court. I mean not home court, home field advantage. And I think if you, like Dre was saying, you could renovate and or just tear down and build
Mhm.
new. I mean, we got money. I don't see that money being an issue. But I think, and Dre was talking about this earlier, you have to make it accessible. I don't think like when we're talking about business and making money, whether it's a storefront or whatever, location, location, location. You have to put it in a place where it's easily accessible for your customers, your clients, or whatever you want to call it. And in DC or even in somewhere else, maybe not Lando, but somewhere else in Prince George's County where our metro system runs. Because I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, we should have a big parking lot, but I think that metro is going to be majority of your people, like people coming in that don't want to deal with parking and all that stuff. Like it needs to be close to a metro facility, and in Dumfries, Virginia, it don't go out that far. You know what I'm saying? So we can find places in the metropolitan area um without going to Dumfries, Virginia. Like we can't we can't just put it anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I just wanted to get your fellas' opinion of where, but I like the RFK idea. Like you said, right off the highway, accessible for everybody, and it's a staple. It has history, as you said, Cavante and Dre, and I think it's something that, if renovated, could be done right and has accessibility to metro and parking as well. But let us know what you think about the situation with the Washington Commanders Stadium. Where would you like to see their stadium being built? Cavante even mentioned somewhere in PG County, the most affluent black community in the country. So why not give them, a nice stadium on some of that beautiful plots of land? But we'll talk about it more. Cavante, I got to get your thoughts on the OTAs and the rookies of the 2022 Washington Commanders draft class. Any standouts, any storylines, any rookies playing well? I heard Mr. Dawson's doing his thing at receiver. Anything you like?
Yeah, Jahad Dawson is uh has been really, really impressive in OTAs. I think a bigger story was before. well for rookie OTAs, he wasn't going to come to the first day because he was graduating. I mean, well, he was going to come to the first day and miss graduation. And Coach Rivera was telling him, "What? Nah, man, you go do that because that's you graduates for your family." You know what I'm saying? And he graduated from Penn State, and after he got the blessing from Ron Rivera to go and participate in the ceremony, it was a lovely picture of him with his degree and his cap and gown, and it was really heartfelt. And I'm absolutely proud of the young brother for one finishing, but also attending because there are a lot of folks that don't attend, believe it or not, that don't attend their own ceremony for whatever reason. But that is a great sign for the other young black brothers that are using school as a tool, using football as a tool to get through school and actually finish. So now he has his degree. Now he can get back in. He get to his football profession and start playing. But pretty much since day one, he's been killing it, man. It's praises from everybody. Crisp route running, great hands. He's definitely going to find his way smoothly into this this here offense. Carson Wentz has been getting a lot of praise from Ron Rivera. I hear he's settling in and really learning and knowing the offense. Mr. Brian Robinson Jr., the running back from Alabama, is playing outstanding. He has
Are you gonna do a roll tide for us, Crevonte?
Come on.
roll tide.
Don't worry, Dre. Don't worry, Dre. Later this season, when he running in them touchdowns, we gonna get
But
one from him.
so it's another. We have another member of that Alabama team now on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes, sir.
Um, he's he's showing some signs. He's showing some signs that he'll fit well into our rotation. His name escapes me now, but and here comes Raj. Here comes Raj. Ain't nobody asked for that. But yeah, our rookies are pretty much performing. And also, last one, I just want to pull up our draft class because I don't want to miss anybody. What's that?
Not choo.
It was Phadrian Mathis. Phadrian Mathis, Crevonte.
Yes,
Alabama.
Mr. Mathis
Alabama. Yeah, his name.
from
Yeah,
Alabama.
his
He was our
name
second.
escaped me.
He was our
Yeah.
second pick. But the last guy, well, and he was our fourth round pick, Mr. Percy Butler, safety from Louisiana, fourth round pick. He's showing some pretty good signs too, and he's pretty much all but going to start. He we have what's called, and this is a pretty new defense that getting kind of popular. It is I want to say it's called the Buffalo Nickel, and basically playing with three safeties. And Percy Butler will probably be in that rotation of one of the three safeties, which means he's probably going to play. I want to say between 50 and 60% of the snaps, which is good. So looks like we could have a potential starter in the fourth round, day one. So if he plays well and continues to produce, he could be a starter for years to come, hopefully. Because we missed the guy that y'all got, but no hard feelings.
Yes, Mr. Kyle Hamilton. Dre, you got anything to add, brother? Or you want to just get a people a roll tide just because?
All right, I'll do a mini one. Roll Tide.
That's right.
I mean, look, as much as I like to joke with my good brother about the downfalls of his team, I really don't want to see them down in the dumps. I mean, there's only so much fun and hole poking that you can do after a while before it just becomes sad. So, um, come on, like I say, Washington, y'all deserve better out there.
Hey man, jump on board with us. Me and Crevonte both got him at about over 8.5 wins and possibly in the wild card, brother. We
Not
think what we think they can.
Yeah.
now,
What's
now that they keep Jack Del Goofio.
what's that?
No,
What's
well,
that? What's that schedule, man? Because that depends a lot. We had hopes for this team last year, and I'm not sold on Carson Wentz either.
I'll give you the schedule as let me get
Okay,
Crevonte.
because
Let me
I'm
get the
about to
last
say
schedule.
you
Yeah.
you about to say you asking a lot, brother. You talking about that 8? I'm
Any
like,
any other free agent signings, Crevonte, you like to see, or any other moves as I get the schedule for Dre to see if he's on board with us with those 9 wins?
Um, I think we're good now. I wouldn't make any other moves. The only other move I would have liked would have been possibly addressing the linebacker situation, but outside of Bobby Wagner, that was it's not much there. So I think we're fine. Let's just go. I'm fine with the roster um as of now. Um, but yeah, no, I'm cool on free agents now. We cool.
All right, I'm about to get the schedule for you, Dre, real quick before we get out of here. 1 second, my good brother. See if you're on board with us. But let the people know about your. Well, you know what, Dre? We'll save that for Monday. We will save all the Dre talk for Monday, America. So tune in Monday if you want to hear about the great trip Dre took out the country to the Republica Dominicano for all my Hispanics out there. So Drizzy Dre, as you can see the schedule, and I'll read it to you. It might be hard to see. They have the week 1 Jaguars,
okay,
week 2 Lions,
okay.
week 3 Eagles,
Mm,
week 4 Cowboys,
mm.
week 5 Titans, week 6 Bears. Poor Justin Fields. I'm gonna say that every time I say Bears. Week 7 Packers,
Mm.
week 8 Colts.
Mm.
Then they play the Vikings, Eagles again, Texans, who may or may not be in and out of a courtroom against Deshaun Watson,
Ha!
Falcons, Giants, bye, then Giants again. So pretty much Giants back to back, however you want to slice it. Christmas Eve, they had the 49ers, which may or may not be Trey Lance, Browns, and Cowboys to end the year.
Okay, all right. Looking at the schedule, you're right. 9 wins is possible.
Okay, see? I'm just saying, if it's not playoffs, we at least say over the 8.5, because I think they are improved. And if these rookies play like Crevonte saying, and like I think they can play, especially if their defense, despite Jack Del Goofy, with the Predator, Chase Young, and those other boys from Alabama, Mr. Allen, Mathis, they got some players. They got a good
Yeah.
front seven.
They do have potential to get at least somewhere between 7 to 9 wins. So they're either going to be right at 8 or like one under or one over. They have potential for that. A couple of winnable divisional games, against the Eagles, or at least split with the Eagles and the Giants. Um, Jaguars, Lions, Vikings, Browns. Those are all toss-up games. Uh,
Bears, they can beat them.
definitely the Bears. Like you
Poor
said,
Justin
poor Justin
Fields.
Fields,
I'm just gonna
because
say it all year, so get used to it.
me too. Hey, look. I think we need to start a new train here on the Flex Zone. Poor Justin Fields, because gosh, we went from yes him being drafted to the Bears to no, please get free
You
that man.
know, and I won't put this in pen, but I'll put it in pencil. The Lions may have a better record than the Bears this year.
You know
They
what?
may.
Woo!
They may.
Honestly, it's no surprise because the Bears and their turmoil and everything that they're going through, new head coach, and they got to basically blow up that whole team. And then the Lions. I mean, the Lions. Honestly, we laugh at the Lions, but they played hard every single game. I mean, remember that Ravens game took us down to the wire. So. They believe in that head coach. They will go through a brick wall for that head coach. And what it showed me last year is this team has potential, and you put some good pieces around, um, in that culture, yeah, they'll make some noise. So I think
And
I think I agree with y'all now. Like I said, looking at the schedule, that Washington could possibly get to 9 wins. I'm right. I'm stuck between 7 to 9.
And Dre, outside of your Rams, the Rams, Tom Brady with the Buccaneers, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, I mean, the NFC is really a crapshoot outside,
Hmm.
not looking at the AFC, that's tough
No,
as
not the
hell,
AFC.
but that's murder's row. But the NFC, I mean, outside of really those three or four teams, you want to throw the 49ers in there, you can, whomever, but really it's wide open, man.
I mean, like you said, it's just a few teams. I mean, honestly, of course, the Rams right now should be the front runners right there with the Buccaneers now that Tom Brady is back. Green Bay, you never can count Aaron Rodgers out, but you never know about everything else surrounding Aaron Rodgers. They could be one and done. They'll make the playoffs and then be going fishing by the first quarter. So 49ers, you don't know what's happening with them at the quarterback position. So, like you said, the NFC is kind of a crapshoot, and the AFC, will that's a whole nother show in of itself about with the AFC because you just don't know with the plethora of quarterbacks and the good teams that are out there. So, um, yeah, I'm looking forward to everything that's happening this season. I mean, it's a lot going on. I know we're talking about Washington right now, but it's just a lot of great sports going on. Um, so, I mean, this is, normally people say that, coming up in July, these are the dog days, but I think that we have a lot of great debates and a lot of great sports that are going on that'll carry us into the summer and beyond.
Crevonte, before we get a preview of episode 346 from the tribal chief himself, the Dominican chief, I'm gonna call him. What, what any final thoughts on the Commanders?
God, when does the nightmare end?
Soon,
God damn.
soon, brother, soon.
But no, like the nightmare doesn't end if we don't get Dave Snyder out of there. Like the nightmare will continue.
That's why I said soon. I believe that he's getting him out of there. He's going fishing.
I hope so. So yeah, I'm gonna lean towards Dre, and then I'm gonna say, hopefully the nightmare is over soon. We upgraded the one position we need to upgrade, and that's quarterback. How much of an upgrade it is yet to be determined.
It's a lot of an upgrade. I mean, I'm not the biggest Carson Wentz fan, but he is definitely better than Ryan Fitzpatrick and I don't even remember the quarterback you guys had before.
Heineke.
But the only issue I had with the whole Heineke thing is I think the young boy deserved a chance. I just wish I wish you guys would have given him a legit chance. I understand, this is a win now league, but I mean, damn, that young boy put in some work, man. Like, give him a chance.
Hey man, I think he got a chance last year. He played a whole hell of a lot of games, but he just has clear limitations.
No, we knew he had limitations though.
But no, he deserves to, one, be on the team, and two, be our backup. Like if for whatever reason Carson Wentz was to go down, I'm not feeling down because I know what he's gonna give us. He's gonna give us everything he got.
Agreed. Well, Dre, this coming Monday, you return to the Flex Zone podcast, fresh from your trip. What can the people expect on episode 346, brother?
I mean, of course, we got to talk about this NBA finals action that's going on. Baseball. I mean, my Yankees right now, they're doing their thing. So, and of course, I think we need to eventually soon bring back that debate of the day because we got some debates that are about to happen right here on the Flex Zone.
Yes, and we gotta talk about possibly Jackson State on the front of Sports Illustrated as well, Dre. I saw that today, so I think that's
well
something to
deserved
touch
too.
on
They need to be.
with our boy Prime Time Deion Sanders. Drizzy Dre, how can the people keep up with you? They starting their day with a cup of Dre this week, or you got a couple days off?
Yeah, no. I look, hop off the plane, fresh, back to the grind, back to schooling, back to working. Karaoke tomorrow night. Catch me 7 to 11.
Hey man, look, Dre, we love you, brother. We know you don't sleep. Only time I actually ever saw you sleep was that picture in the airport. Shout out to Brittany. So take it easy, brother. We need you. We love you. But it's good to see you back, my guy.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, we will be back Monday. Crevonte, you still dressing up as the Commandalorian for that October 30th game against the Colts?
If I could find a suit slash mask with like the burgundy and gold one, that's like the Commandalorian, but like burgundy and gold, I'll consider it.
Hey, we might have to make that happen for the people out there on the YouTube, Facebook, and other social media airways. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Comment down below. Let us know what you think about all the topics we discussed. Dan Snyder, Jack Del Rio, the Washington Commanders schedule. Do they win 8, 9 games? Do they make the playoffs? What about the rookies? Let us know. Any other future topics as well. We'll be live Monday, 10 p.m. Hit that bell. And fellas, we getting ready to get out of here, y'all. We gone.
Peace.
Peace.